So one of the things I deal with a lot when I'm doing my one-on-ones with people is that people are just so forgiving. Like when you're overly forgiving to a person that is a narcissist or toxic person, they will take advantage of your forgiveness. They will absolutely weaponize your forgiveness against you. Hey, I know you wouldn't do that to me. Like, you know, just you're not the type of person to do that to me, to expose me or to abandon me. I know that. I think like narcissists like see forgiveness, being overly forgiving as a weakness, as a weak trait, and they will take advantage of it. They like sniff it out like, that person is too forgiving. Gotcha. And a lot of times when people are dealing with narcissists, you forgive them without any kind of changed behavior, just by them simply saying, I'm sorry. And that's never enough. The only acceptable apology from a narcissist or anybody else is consistent changed behavior. Make them earn your forgiveness. Don't just give it to them and give them the benefit of the doubt. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. I am self-aware diagnosed narcissist Lee Hammock, and I use my platform of over 1 million people to raise awareness for narcissistic personality disorder, get more people into therapy, and also validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. Because narcissistic abuse is a thing, y'all. It is. It's not just abuse. It's different. This series right here is dedicated to taking my TikToks and my YouTube shorts and making them longer. They are 60 seconds or less. This is going to be longer than 60 seconds because, you know, I like to talk a little bit. So the video you just watched was about making them earn your forgiveness. I know I've done a lot of videos about forgiveness and reconciliation, so this is going to be a little bit on that one, but I'm going to take it in a different direction right here. Because somebody corrected me in the comment section about last month. There's a difference between forgiveness and reconciliation. You can forgive people for doing things to you, but that does not necessarily mean that you have to. It absolutely does not mean that you have to reconcile with them. That you have to accept that person back into your life in some way, shape, or form. That's absolutely not what it means. So you can forgive them, but you don't have to get back into a relationship with them. You don't have to allow them back into your life in any capacity. You don't have to do that. It's your life. You get one life to live. Why waste it on constantly reconciling with somebody that does not deserve it? Why do this stuff when they do not deserve it? You know what I mean? So in the position that you're in right now, you don't have to reconcile with somebody. You just don't. You don't have to. Like, I always like, this is the question you need to ask yourself right here before you reconcile with somebody. Would they forgive you and reconcile with you if you did the exact same thing to them that you are forgiving and reconciling with them for? Would they forgive you for doing the exact same thing to them that they had done to you? Would you? Point blank period. Would they forgive you? And a lot of times, if you ask them, they would say no. People would say, no, I would not forgive you for doing the exact same thing to me. I wouldn't. People would say the exact same thing. I would not forgive you for doing the exact same thing to me that I am doing to you. They just would not, point blank period, would not want to do the exact same thing. They just not. The people will not tolerate the same thing. People have a level of toleration where they will take advantage of you as long as you allow them to take advantage of you. They just will. Point blank, period, end of story. They will 100% take advantage of you, and then they will do it like that. They just will. They will take advantage of you. They will manipulate you. They will gaslight you, and they will just literally beat you down until you take them back. But if you did the same thing, they wouldn't do it. So this is kind of part of, I don't know if you know that dude Jen Kidd from TikTok and YouTube or whatever. He does like the little Scarface impressions or whatever. I just like literally discovered this guy. He actually allegedly unalived his wife and one of her friends, I guess, because he thought that she was cheating on him. Knowingly, I just saw a video pop up, but like, he had literally cheated on her in their house. She found out and forgave him and reconciled with him. They ended up getting separated a few days ago, like last week. They ended up getting separated. He put a tracking device on their daughter's iPad so he could listen in on his phone on stuff that was going in inside the apartment. Hear their man's voice on there. Went over there and allegedly unalived them, but with a gun. His wife, and her friend, because he thought that she was cheating on him. He thought that she had moved on quickly. He thought that she was cheating on him, but she had literally reconciled and forgave him for doing the exact same thing in their apartment, allegedly. Literally, he was not willing to accept the exact same thing that he had done. He was not willing to forgive her, allegedly. In his mind, he was not willing to forgive her for the thought of cheating on him. He did not want it. He went over there and unalived them because he thought that she was cheating on him, but he actively cheated on her, and she forgave him and reconciled with him. You see how that works? That's a clear example of the same thing. The clear example of they would not tolerate the same thing. So if you don't have to reconcile with people. And I'm not saying that that dude is a narcissist. I'm saying that you don't have to reconcile with everybody that you forgive. You just don't. If forgiveness makes you feel better, if forgiveness gives you freedom, it makes you think, it makes you feel free and more powerful and things like that, do it. But you don't have to allow that person back into your life. Forgive them for whatever purpose you need to, but you don't have to allow them back into your life under any circumstance. You just don't. And that's point blank period. You don't have to do that. And that's the way the mind works right there. Like, so as I tell people all the time, like, ask yourself that question before you blindly forgive somebody with no kind of repercussions, with no consistent change behavior. You just forgive them and reconcile with them because that's who you are. You're just a nice person. You're just a forgiving person. You're just too nice. You're codependent. You're an empath. All the other stuff. Ask yourself that question. They just promise to change. There's no active change. There's no active, like, they're not taking any steps in the right direction to change. They just tell you they're going to do it. I'll stop doing that. Please take me back. And they make no effort to actually change. They might do it for a couple of weeks, and then they're back to normal because you accepted them back with nothing, without a plan of action in order, without any kind of boundary set. You just accepted them back because you missed them, because you loved them, because you didn't want to see them with anybody else. Stop reconciling with people. Stop reconciling with everybody. You just have to protect your peace. And if you decide to forgive somebody and not reconcile with them, protect your life. You see that? Look up Jinn Kidd, Jinnkid. You will see. I think his name Ali Abulan or something like that. Yeah, look him up. You look him up. It just happened last week. It's fresh. You can see the whole story. That exactly. He stalked her afterwards. She forgave him for allegedly cheating, but she caught him cheating. And she forgave him and reconciled with him. They were actually about to be legally separated. He moved out. She had a guy over that was apparently her friend or something like that. He found out about it, went over there and allegedly unalived them out of anger because she was doing this. He thought that she was doing the same thing that he had done to her, allegedly. See how it works. Stop reconciling people that don't offer you the same courtesy. They would not offer you the same courtesy. They just don't care. I tell this to people all the time. You can't do that. You have to protect yourself. You just have to. If you don't protect your peace, nobody else will. You're responsible for your own peace. You're responsible for protecting your own peace and taking your power back. You just are. You are in charge of your own peace. You just are. Protect it at all costs. You are in charge of your life. You just are. Protect it at all costs. Don't allow people back into your life that don't deserve it, that have not made any kind of consistent changes, that are just begging and pleading and crying because they cry. Stay strong, stay empowered, protect your peace, protect your heart, protect your life. Don't reconcile with everybody. Mental illness is out. Peace.